selling, games are selling. He basically said that we are getting into an increasingly tiny group. The amount of people actually buying stuff is getting ridiculously small.
I thought it was just Xbox. I thought it was just Xbox. What was we trying to tell you for the past 10 to 15 years, you big dummies? I mean, you trying to tell me you PlayStation ponies are that surprised to not realize that third party has been taking over your top 10 charts for as long as they have been, even as far back to the PlayStation 1? What do you people don't understand? Madden, NBA 2K, Fortnite, Roblox. That's what people are picking up these platforms for. But y'all sat there and told people, oh no, they buy them for exclusives. Just for that to blow up in your people's faces once again.
Hardcore, dedicated gamers, 80% of them, 85% of them are going to buy maybe 0 games or 1 game a year at most.
Games still with another W. And what's even more funny about that one game, I can guarantee you, more than likely it's a third party, but it ain't no exclusive game. Now you're starting to understand how the market is working and why companies are trying to make the next big thing. I just find it so humorous to the point where you people really didn't know this was going on. Are y'all that delusional? Are y'all really caught so much into this console war stuff that you don't even see reality right in front of you? You could have looked at the top 10 games on PlayStation 5 and got your answer. But instead, you wanted to have this console warrior pride thinking that Sony and Microsoft care about me. When in reality, they never did. All they cared about was that subscription money.
Now, I want to talk about this entire interview because people seem to be very pissed about it, and I think his points are incredibly sound. And it kind of helps sort of shed light on how the industry could be making hundreds of billions of dollars. Unicorn Overlord sold 500,000 copies and is considered to be a massive success because it's a small budget.
Yeah. Game still with another W. Didn't I tell you guys that if a game has a low budget, it will do better in sales just because they didn't invest much money into it? So you're practically saying that companies like PlayStation will not want to make AAA games anymore if their games are not selling, which therefore also equates to more people having to buy them. Now, games like Returnal and Sorrows and Astrobot are perfectly fine because they don't have a huge, massive budget. But for the AAA games that we know from Sony, the ones that we know and love, we might start seeing less of that. And Microsoft might be the only company that has their own console that can actually push out third-party games in that fashion. You see how I said third-party games, right? So Microsoft's going to have their own console while also pushing games for everybody else. You guys are dependent on them. Without Microsoft, gaming would be completely trash. You got to ask yourself, man, GameStop, that's a good point because clearly PlayStation can't handle all this. That's why they're like, Microsoft, you make games for us because we ain't trying to take those gambles. We ain't got $3 trillion that we can gamble with. After that Concord mess, I don't think we want to dabble in this.
Almost no advertising, and people loved it, so it sold, right? Whereas Resident Evil 7, this game sold 15 million copies, and oh my god, it pretty much rebuilt Capcom from the ground up.
Yeah, and what's even more funny, it was also multi-platform. Because if the game dropped on one console, it would have been less successful. But since the game was widely available for a bunch of other people to play, you know, the budget that Capcom put in this game, they can reap the benefits. But yet, you guys have a problem with multi-platform gaming. I don't. Because at this point, Sony and Xbox is third party. You guys got to stop dancing around it. Oh, but they ain't doing it like Xbox. Bro, nobody cares. The fact that you put a game on another platform is the definition of third party. And if you people still have an issue with that, well, then go to PC, man. If it's that important, but even then, their games are multi-plat too. So what are we really doing? At the end of the day, if you're buying a console just to play games, these consoles are very much good at what they're doing. But you guys still complain. You get it at a reasonable price through Game Pass. You get all these games day and date, and you still complain. You're on Twitter. You're talking about these things on the internet, but ain't none of you people playing games.
How can both of these be such big successes with such different metrics. I kind of feel like
you just said it in your own video. What are you talking about? Resident Evil 7, right, has a high budget. It was also multi-platform, on top of the fact that it sold 15 million. So more than likely it did well. But a game like Unicorn Overlord, that game has a very small budget, which also therefore means out of the 500,000 people that bought it, let's say if the budget was like 200,000, then they made their money. But if Unicorn Overlord had a budget like similar to Concord, 400 million, then what do you think would have happened to that game? That game would have flopped and failed. See, this is why people try to tell you, ponies, that you don't understand the general landscape of where gaming is going. I'm an old school gamer. I'm right here with y'all. I get it. I get hyped up when I see the Capcom Fighting Collection and the Onimusha 2. I'm buying it. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and act like, oh, things is back like how they was in the 90s when we clearly see that ain't the case no more.
This interview sheds light on that. But
oh, really? It took a few years in an interview to shed some light on something that we already knew. I've known this since the PS3, the PS2, the 360. Third parties would push these consoles, not exclusivity. What is wrong with you? You can look at the top 10 charts on PS1 5, they're third party. Same thing also apply to Xbox. The only exception to that rule is Nintendo, and this is something that I've been telling y'all. But y'all ain't want to listen to me. Gamster's always trying to be a fanboy. He's only trying to defend Xbox. They doing the same thing on that console too. So at the end of the day, what are you people doing? It's either you pick up these platforms, have fun, and play the games, or just shut up at this point. Because nobody cares about this console war garbage.
Let's see what he said. I hope you're
it took y'all this long.
If you could, please.
It took you this long to realize that. Really. I can show you the top 10 charts on my Xbox Series X right now, and it will be the same 10 games. Roblox, NBA 2K, Grand Theft. It's gotten so bad that it's like this. NBA 2K 520 Standard Edition. Then they have a Legacy Edition that even takes up another spot in the top 10. It's like, how you got the same game? It's ridiculous. They got the Standard Edition, then they got a Premium one, and the Standard Edition is first, and then the Premium is right behind it. Like, what? It's the same game, but it's... I don't get it, man. And you guys want to sit there and act like there's no problems in the gaming community, man.
30% of people that play video games will not buy a video game this year.
Woo!
Well, that's wild.
Well, we know they're going to buy a game. You know, that's where he's wrong, because they're going to be picking up Grand Theft Auto 6 if it drops this year.
Third of the audience just won't buy. A further 18...
But I thought people pick up the PS5 for exclusives. I mean, ain't that what you told me, Dreamcast guy?
18% purchase a new game every 6 months or less frequently. So these are your folks that are buying Madden or EAFC, or they're picking up...
We knew this already. So why you acting surprised? How many times I be saying this in my video that this is a fundamental problem about what's going on in the gaming community? Hand me my flowers, people. Y'all want to sit there and fight and argue with me in my own comment section just for things like this to be true. Oh, I realize it now. Just like you didn't realize when you looked at the top 10 games in your own country playing your PlayStation 5. Really? I don't care if you're the biggest PlayStation fanboy or Xbot alive. You'd be a fool to think that anybody picked up your console to play these games. Nobody cares, bro. That's why y'all in your 40s and your 50 years old arguing as if you're still in the playground, bro. Grow up. Be man for once. Enjoy gaming. Like, what are y'all doing?
Call of Duty, right? You're big mass market only.
We knew this.
Kind of buyer.
I do want to point out real quick, that's a lot of times what we consider to be the casual gamers, right?
Oh, really?
The COD people, the people that only buy, hey, here's the annualized releases. That's the one thing I'm going to buy. It's interesting to me because that is what's very much holding up the industry. That is still the biggest moneymaker.
Gamester with another W. What did I tell you? I thought it was exclusives. I thought people pick up the PS5 for exclusives. There you go. Clearly that lie and that narrative that has been going on in this community needs to finally be put to rest. Because if that's the case and people picked up a PS5 for exclusive games, we wouldn't even be having this argument. We wouldn't even be having this conversation or this discussion. But the fact that he's acting like, oh, it was this interview that I realized that this is what's going on here is absolutely ridiculous. Because how many of you people knew it? Even the people that love PlayStation games can see this. The only people that don't see it is fanboys. Let's just be honest.
The casuals that are buying one game or maybe a bunch of microtransactions and
We knew this,
games, but aren't, watching trailers. They don't.
He ain't saying nothing new.
But what the heck? Star Wars Outlaws is, or Assassin's Creed Shadows, or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. They're the people that are kind of holding up the industry. The big markets are those people that casually have a console, but really only play 1 or 2 games a year. But let me actually let Matt finish here.
Wow.
The kind of purchaser that's watching this show, you're probably buying at least 1 game a month, maybe more. Only 12% of video game players buy a game once a month. Only 4%
1 game a month.
buy games more often than once per month. So
why you acting surprised, bro? We knew this already, man. He ain't saying nothing new. Y'all talk about Matt Pascali's, whatever his name is, Matt Spaghetti, Mom Spaghetti, and he's nervous. Bro, we knew this already. The fact that it took for this type of confirmation for you people to realize that, man, maybe people don't pick up PS5 for exclusives. Maybe people pick it up for Fortnite and Roblox. I didn't really think those games had that type of power. I didn't think, I really, bro, y'all sound like old men that don't know what's going on here, which clearly y'all are. Or it's either that or you're just straight up delusional.
Just keep that in mind. 4% buy more than a game a month. Now,
and what's even more funny about that, how many of that 4% is only picking up that usual Monster Hunter Wilds or that usual third-party Call of Duty annual release game? You heard what you just said. So that means we're even lower than that. You want to sit there, y'all like, oh, Snap Gamester, that's a good point. Because when you say gamers, that's a broadened term. Let's listen to that again. Because I know how to break stuff down. Listen.
Buy games more often than once per month. So
just keep that in mind. 4% buy more than a game a month. Now,
that would probably be the gamer like myself. I can sit there and say that because I'm going to buy 2 games within, actually, Legacy of Kain, Onimusha, and the Capcom fight. And on top of it, I'm buying it for both platforms as well. So there you go. I already know that they ain't that many gamers doing that.
Obviously, that's still a lot of money. Let's say a lot of games, $70 now. That's spending $140 a month on games. I understand why that is such a tiny number, but I do think it's interesting with the amount of...
Oh, yeah, it is. Because you know why? Because the 2 games that they bought, you ready for this? I can probably explain that for you right now. College Football 25 and Madden 25. There you go. Y'all like Gamester. You such a troll, bro. Look at that. College Football and Madden. That's where they went. That's where the $70 for both of those games went. $140 right there. College Football and the Madden 25.
People that do.
Nobody buys your games.
I do feel like
Let's go.
YouTube at times does feel like a bubble because I talk to you guys and we're all buying games. I'm reviewing a bunch of games. I'm playing a bunch of games. I, on average, beat about 50 games a year.
Is that why you hide your profile? Really, 50 games a year? You hear this, fool? I beat 50. They don't even make 50 games a year. What are you talking about?
I beat almost a game every 6 days. So it's interesting.
Yo, you know what's funny? Somebody do the mathematics on that. He said he beat... Hold on. Bro... Bro, listen, man, I ain't even got to pull out a calculator to realize that's a load of nonsense. You say you beat about 50 games a year, right? We got 365 days out of a year, right? I saw like that the MMA fighter Tito Ortiz, you know what I mean, with the mathematics. And you just sat there and said, I beat, 5 to 6 games. No, what did we say? 1 game out of 5 to 6 days, right? Bruh, you was definitely not doing that, man. That math do not add up, bruh. It don't add up, bro.
And when I think about times like this,
man,
where there are people that just are into gaming, but don't really know what's going on with gaming, and they're certainly not like hyper locked into the pulse of the industry. It's interesting how it feels like that 4% online. It feels like it's 80% of us, but it's not. It's a very, very, very tiny fraction of a fraction. But
when we're talking about the developers and the publishers that are really being, hurt the most, that we're talking the most about, are the games that are really targeting this like 16%
psycho
of total
They're
players
trying to be
that are
one game you buy a
purchasing
year.
very frequently, while the vast majority of players are buying a game or two a year, and they're playing Fortnite, Minecraft, and Roblox.
Gabe still won another W. Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Now are we gonna stop with the exclusivity talk? Are we gonna stop talking about how people pick up a PS5 for exclusives? Because clearly that argument is null and void, bro. I don't care what you guys think that makes the PS5 more superior than the Xbox or even the PC at this point. Just shut up and play your games. Because at the end of the day, clearly none of the things that you guys are arguing about matters to the vast majority of the people that are picking up these platforms. Do I have to rewind it so you guys fully understand what's going on here? Let's hear it again.
Purchasing very frequently, while the vast majority of players are buying a game or two a year, and they're playing Fortnite, Minecraft, and Roblox. And I think that's like the biggest challenge. The biggest competitor
Look at that. He's so hurt.
Any new video game is Fortnite. I will die on that hill no matter what it is, because
it's so funny. Gabe still with another W. Didn't I tell people in my comment section that at PlayStation 5 ain't nothing but a Fortnite box? Because that's all it is. All those exclusive games that y'all want to hide behind, nobody cares about them. It is what it is, bro. You guys don't exist. You guys are dinosaurs. You're extinct. That's why the gaming market is not catering to your desires anymore. It is what it is. It's either you keep continuing to go on, or you just become a grumpy old man, which that's what you guys have become, to try to ruin everybody else's.
Have to fight Fortnite before you fight anything else to get your game seen and purchased. And that's like the biggest challenge I think happening right now.
Woo!
Now, I think I understand.
Gabe still with another W.
Why this quote is kind of pissing people off.
What is there to aggravate y'all? Are y'all going to sit there? Really? Now, that's just you being a fanboy. Are you going to sit there and argue that this game's better than Fortnite right now financially? Let's be realistic here, bro. Come on, bro. I don't care if you like other games, but let's be realistic for once, man. I don't even care for Fortnite. But are we going to sit there and act like the fans don't gravitate towards that game? Bro, I can't believe it.
It's like the biggest challenge I think happening right now.
What is there to be upset about?
Now, I think I understand.
Oh, really?
Why this quote is kind of pissing people off. It's
because you understand, because it hits your little console warrior heart, because it practically exposes the fact that nobody buys your console for exclusives.
In a lot of ways, I do think that the gaming industry is much more malleable. At least it has been in the past. And that there will be new trends, there's new types, there's new games, there's new weirdness. And it always manages to find success, right? I think gamers do enjoy the challenge, the excitement.
Gamers like challenge and excitement. What are you talking about? When is the last time a gamer has stopped playing Rainbow Six Siege? A lot of these games are more accessible and easier than they have ever been, and yet less people are expanding their horizons and only flocking to the same usual games. What are you talking about, bro? See, this is where the delusion comes from. Is the fact that you think things are the same like how it was in the 90s.
Task of learning something new.
You think, bro, learning something new? Is that why they keep playing Fortnite, you big dummy?
At least it seems like it. But
really? It seems like it. Bro, this is fanboy talk, bro. Oh, it seems like it. Oh, yeah. Because clearly the people that play Fortnite wanted to buy Astrobot, right? See, look how well that worked for that game. Well, what about Concord? You know, the same people that play Overwatch, how come they didn't gravitate towards Concord since that was a new game that they haven't played already? Exactly. Let's stop the cap, bro. Let's be realistic in this community, man. I think rational adults like myself are getting sick and tired and fed up of this garbage and the stuff that you people be saying in this community, because clearly it doesn't make sense. It's you guys are projecting your own emotions to the gaming community, thinking that this is what's right and this is what's wrong.
The sales numbers don't really reflect it. I also do think it's interesting that Matt Piscatella basically says that all these companies now that are spending, $300 million on a game, they're trying to be the one game you're going to buy that year.
At IHG Hotels,
to me, I think it's interesting that they're all kind of assuming they can tap into that. Okay, this person's only going to spend $200 on games this year. We have to figure out how to make the biggest, most recognizable, most understandable, buy it, play it, beat it, talk about it, keep that sales engine going.
And it ain't going to work.
It's interesting that actual pool is so incredibly tiny. Now, I want to take a look at the replies. A lot of people are talking about the fact this is a bad thing. It is interesting that I do think the attach rate, just in general, for everything is bad, except for Nintendo, obviously. But it is interesting to me that nobody is buying anything on Xbox because of Xbox Game Pass.
Well, there's no reason to buy anything on Xbox, like you said, through Game Pass. But what is the excuse for PlayStation? I thought PlayStation bought games. So there you go. You just exposed another one of your false narratives that you've been expressing in this community.
The numbers very much reflect that, and that's why a lot of Xbox people don't like Matt Piscatore.
And Astrobot and Concord and Until Dawn Remake also reflect that PlayStation gamers don't buy their games either. They don't even buy their own first party.
Well, because he'll, very correctly point out the fact that even the best, craziest, awesome, epic Xbox game, like Valve just came out, it doesn't really sell that hot, which is fine. People got Game Pass. They don't have to buy it. But it is interesting that even something like Astrobot that is winning Game of the Year from pretty much every publication, DICE, everything, selling 1.5 million units on 75 million consoles. That's very, very strange.
Games to win another W.
But I feel like
what did I tell you, man? I'm one of the first people bringing this up to people's attention, but y'all ain't listening to me, man. Y'all want to act like I don't exist. Y'all want to call me a hater. Y'all want to call me an Xbox fanboy. All because you guys can't take in reality. You guys don't like the fact that gaming will never go back to what it once was before. And that's fine, because the gaming that we used to love and grow up in was phenomenal. But those days is over, just like music and every other source of media that you people enjoy in your day-to-day lives. You don't like it, it's either you go back and look at your own Pokemon anime films or just shut up. Nobody cares, bro, because you go sit there and tell that to these casuals, and they ain't the ones listening to y'all.
Actually bring up some extra interesting takes. Not to mention, 60% of gamers spend their time playing games that are 6 years or older. Now, we did a video talking about this, but...
Games to win another W. There you go. Nobody's playing anything else.
There was a big, basically, deep dive, only free-to-play. I may be in the 4%, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I put more hours into Apex Legends than all the games I purchased and played this year.
Woo!
Yeah, I think this is a lot of people. People that are just...
We know this. So when y'all sitting there complaining about something, all we sitting there is like, we told you so. Like, you really think people are going to be laughing at you. They're going to be like, bro, are you really that surprised that this is going on? Like, are you really that shocked? Like, I swear, I'm going to have to put that in my... I know people are getting tired of it, but I'm going to have to put that in the title. Again, Dreamcast guy shocked that nobody buys exclusives. Like, are you really that shocked? There's a reason why I put it in the title. Because it's like a play off words. It's like, yeah, they're shocked, but everybody else, we all know what's going on here. You know what I'm saying? But clearly, he's shocked. You know? I mean, that's how you're supposed to read the title. So when you see my videos, guys, it goes Dreamcast guy, PlayStation fanboy, shocked! And then whatever else happens after that. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Playing Fortnite with the bros. People that are saying, hey, I want to check out Marvel Rivals or something like that.
Oh, my.
I think this is a fun thing. You're a casual if you don't buy 1 to 3 games a month. Most games...
I think you're a casual if you don't beat games.
Incite me to want to buy them, or I might not be able to afford it because I prioritize my resources and spend appropriately. I can spend months on one game, and if it's good, I'd love to keep it, but not every game hits the same. I'm looking for games that feel like chess when most feel like checkers. Now, this tweet has 0 likes, but I feel like in my free time between reviews this year, well, I quit and get into movies or books or something like that. And to me, that was eye-opening. They're playing games 30 hours a week, 40 hours a week.
Bro, people are still playing World of Warcraft. And like I said, the structure of a game where people just continuously play, like GTA 5, for example, people have been playing that for the past, 11 to 12 years. These are the games that the casuals want to flock to. So you know what I find funny? And I don't want to take shots at the PC gamer because it's not completely their fault, but this is PC gaming's fault. And what I mean by it, I'm not saying directly PC gaming's fault. I'm just saying it from a standpoint so people can understand where I'm coming from. Because I have to do stuff in layman's terms for these lames that don't understand anything. I'm saying the whole live service is subscription. The whole, one game you play forever, for essentially forever. These games came mostly from PC. The World of Warcrafts, you got the Ark, you got the Rust, you know what I'm saying? These are the games that people play, and this is all they want to play. You know, it's gotten to the point it's even impacted basketball games. People play the My Career, and they play it like they don't even play the heads up no more, right? They just play their own player. You know what I'm saying? Living out, you know, doing workout, exercise, and then playing park basketball and in an open world environment. You know what I'm saying? Games have evolved, you know, but like I said, PC structure. You know what I'm saying? So you guys want to blame anybody, blame PC.
Ridiculous numbers, but they're not just constantly spending hundreds of dollars every single
Oh, they are. They're just not spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on your games.
to get every single new big release.
But they do it for every single DLC when it comes to these games like World of Warcraft, like in all these other games. They spend the money on those games, which is also an ecosystem because the money goes straight back to the game that they're playing.
I think gamers into a spot where it's not just that they're broke. I do think they're...
Oh, you're going to sit there and say, really? Do you know how many popular people that make content in this community that probably got more money than you and they put thousands of dollars into their My Players on NBA 2K? This has nothing to do with being broke, bro. What are you talking about? Matter of fact, I got another theory. The people that play free-to-plays actually spend more money. You're like, what games? Come on, man. The game's free, though. What you mean by this? Bruh. I'm telling you, the people that play free-to-plays spend hundreds amongst hundreds and thousands. Bro, I used to know a dude on PlayStation, right? And he would buy the Madden games every year. He would do like a My Team. This dude spent thousands of dollars just so he could do that every year. And everybody laughed at him. I'm like, bro, you know next year they're going to shut the service and all that. He's like, I don't care. You know, I do what I want with my money. I'm telling you, he would spend thousands of dollars on some Madden packs or whatever he was doing on that game for a yearly release title. So you want to sit there and say, oh, you know, it's because they broke. No, because if anything, they're spending more money on one game than I'm spending on hundreds of games that I own. What are you talking about? Let's hear that again.
Constantly spending hundreds of dollars every single year to get every single new big release.
Well, they do every single big release for Fortnite. They put a new celebrity or a new dance move and they buy it. They just don't buy your games.
Gamers into a spot where it's not just that they're broke. I do think that we're getting to
and you're going to sit there and go as far to call gamers broke because they don't want to sit there and play Unicorn Overlord because they don't care for those games. They don't care. And this is why I tried to tell you, bro. Just admit it, bro. The fact that you're still doing this and trying to find some justification as to why people don't play my exclusive or my game, bro, those days don't exist. I understand that a lot of the games that I love, most people don't even cherish. It is what it is. The only time I can even have good conversations with some people if they're level-headed or if they grew up in the same games and, hey, I tried it too on the Sega Saturn. But you think I'm going to be able to have a conversation with a Fortnite kid about a game that I grew up playing on my Sega Saturn? He's going to be like, what's this? I don't know what that is. Panzer Dragoon Sagas? I'm looking for Miley Cyrus. Fortnite skin.
Where the bad games outnumber the good games. So,
oh, really? So, hold on. Now you're trying to disrespect people's games. Listen, I'm not a fan of free-to-plays, and I'm going to sit there and tell you this now, but I've played them. A lot of free-to-plays have good quality to them. That's the reason why a lot of these people play them. You can sit there and say what you want because you don't like the idea of it, but to say Fortnite's a bad game, the game's very robust, the online's clean, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I mean, we can sit there and nitpick off cheaters or whatever, but that can apply to every game. There's a lot of different modes. I understood the concept as to why a lot of kids like these games. One time somebody showed me like, you could do all these custom modes in the game. And I said, that's cool. Not something I'd play, but I'm like, that's cool. It made me realize why kids like this game. So I get it. I understand it. That's the problem with you guys. You don't want to understand it. You want to be ignorant as to what's going on in the gaming community. And I'm telling you right now, only people you're hurting is yourself. Let's go. Let's hear it again.
Into a spot where it's not just that they're broke. I do think that we're getting to a spot where the bad games outnumber the good games.
But what makes a bad game? There's a lot of games that are priced at $70 that are bad. Like, I mean, what are you talking about, bro? Until Dawn Remake was at $70 and nobody cared for it, that was a bad game. It had a lot of bugs and issues.
even when
Just
something
admit
does
it.
get top score review scores and you watched a live streamer play, you watched reviews and stuff, you still might say, okay, but is this going to be my one game of the year? I don't know. It's an interesting point.
I just think you guys are butthurt that nobody cares about what y'all talking about. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, you guys are just past your prime, bro. The console wars, these days is over, bro. Just go back and enjoy gaming for what it is. Like, I've had people in the comment section saying that their children, oh man, you're right, Gamester. I went to the GameStop and they said these kids were just picking up Fortnite V-Bucks and Roblox cards. What do y'all want to complain? You know, I could sit there and say, Timmy, you don't want this console, you know what I'm saying? I got exclusives, you know. Hey, Daddy, I just want Fortnite with the skin. If you're going to spend $300 on that new Xbox, just give me $300 worth of Fortnite skins. Well, son, I'm trying to introduce you to exclusives. PS5, look at this exclusive. You don't care? You don't care? No, Daddy, I don't care. I just want to play with my friend Fortnite with the new dance moves. You see? Look, even the kids doing it in front of them. That's what you want, son. You know, you have my heart. You know, I grew up playing game the old way. You know, I played old way. You know, we didn't have rumble in our controller. We played it the old way. Games were difficult. And the kid looking at you like, what are you crying, bro? We played it the old way. Things was hard, you know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't appreciate nothing. That's what's wrong with you kids. Y'all don't appreciate how we grew up. Yeah. And nobody want to hear that old crap. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, man, it's about time you dinosaurs finally fully go extinct.